This is not a chatbot. This is an employee. It reads my emails, runs my CRM, remembers everything about my business, and even texts me every morning about updates before I wake up. And it never asks for a raise or a promotion. By the end of this video, you will have an AI employee ready to work for your business. All the prompts and details are going to be in the description, and we'll have this up and running for you. So let's go. Most people use AI like a vending machine. They walk up, ask a question, and then they're on their way. An AI native business is different. It's always on, working for you, whether you're watching or not. So to get there, we need three things: channels, tools, and a brain. Channels, that's just how you're going to be talking to it. In this video, I'm going to be using the Hermes Agent desktop app, but you can also have it text you by email, Telegram, or text message. For the different tools, we'll have a lot of things here as well. We'll have it connected to Notion so it can just save information about your business. It can search the web, and we'll even connect it to GitHub so it can code for you. And also we have the brain. This is going to be its personality. It's going to have all the information about your business, yourself, or whatever you want it to do. And from here, we'll actually have sub agents, so they'll actually act like your employees and not just a generic bot. So again, we're using Hermes Agent. It's an open source tool from Noah's Research. If you've used anything like OpenClaw or ever heard about that, it's a little similar. So we're going to be doing that today. And as you can see on my screen, my Hermes Agent, this is pretty much out the box. I had a separate video just showing how to install the desktop app, and they keep making things easier and easier. So this video will get you up to speed if you're a complete beginner with nothing configured, because that's how I have it on this machine that I'm going to be doing this video from. When you go to your settings, I believe you just want to make sure, if I'm going to go to about here, yeah, you just want to make sure that you're always up to date. Now, they release a lot of different updates, so this is just good to go back to every couple of days, and you can just hit the check now button and you'll see there's already some updates today. I'm not going to update it here, but just know there's some new updates, so you're going to want to just hit the update now button. So just to get set up, I actually don't even have uh like a provider installed, and that is just the engine that your agent is going to be running on. So for example, we go to settings, we go to providers right here. Now, this is going to be anything from your ChatGPT, your Gemini account, Claude, Anthropic, whatever you want to use. You can actually log in here and it will be the provider that powers your machine. So I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. If you actually go to this website called Arena, let's just go to it, arena.ai, then you click on the top left here and go to leaderboard. Then you are actually able to see in real time the different rankings of all the different chat bots that are out here. So right now you can see Claude Fable 5 that's been trending pretty recently, and you can see you have 4.8 listed here, GPT 5.5, and you can just kind of see the different models, but they change so much that it's kind of good to just have somewhere where you can go to see which ones are the most up to date. We are going to be using the API key method to just set up the provider. When you do have one set up, it'll show a highlight button here. I actually kind of just was setting this up to test it, but I'm going to be using OpenAI for this video. So I'll come down here to where it says OpenAI API, and then we're going to go to this website. Just go to platform.openai.com. And this part is going to be kind of what costs you, but just to run any of these models, it will, well, just for what we're doing, it's probably going to cost you money. So I'll just continue with Google and proceed here. Okay, and after you're logged into your homepage, you might need to create a project, but if you have a default project, you're going to want to click API keys. You can create a new secret key here, and you're going to want to copy this. This is private. You're not going to want to share this. I'm going to name this Hermes Mac, and this is just something you're going to name it just so you can remember what it is. So I'm going to create that and then copy it. Now, after you do that, you can take it right back into your Hermes agent, and you can just paste it right here. Click Save, and it should be configured. And after this, when you go back to your model, you'll be able to select your provider here. And I believe this is the one I selected. And then from there, we hit apply. And we have, sure, I'll just do the fast version. And this will be kind of the, if you hit fast, it's less expensive here. We'll be able to close it, and we can see we have ChatGPT, OpenAI configured right here, and it should be working. So I'll just say hello, and you should see it's using the GPT 5.5 fast model. And yeah, we have it responding, and you can switch to any of the models that they offer right here in the menu. Okay, so for transparency and security's sake, I'm just going to be showing you all how you can easily run a security audit within Hermes, since security is the biggest, I guess, challenge when using any tools like this. And if it is a business assistant, this is something that's going to have your proprietary data that you don't want being leaked. So something that we can type in is just run a security audit. Oops, it's like I can't type in talk at the same time. I didn't even realize that. When you do run a security audit, Hermes has these built-in tools, and then it'll be able to run a security audit here. Okay, so actually just to make sure that we use the security audit command, I'm going to specify it here. I think when you're using one of the weaker models that says fast on it, you want to be very specific here. So we're going to do that. All right, and you can see after we ran the security audit, no critical vulnerabilities were found. And whenever you're pasting in any sensitive environment variables, you're going to want to run these different security audits just to make sure you're, just keeping up with everything. If you read some of this is just because of the dependencies installed by Hermes. And this is just kind of like just stuff you're going to see. Everything is always they always want you to update to the very, very latest version. And even you can see if you run an update to Hermes within that day, just because of everything that you're using, you're going to want to keep doing these updates to just make sure you stay safe. Okay, so the next superpower that we're going to give our Hermes agent is actually voice control. That's what this little button here is. It actually won't work if you don't give it the control yourself and set it up. So if we open settings, go to tools and keys, we have a few different options here. And one of them is voice tools by OpenAI. But the one that we're actually going to be using is Groq. So I'll be showing you all how to set that up. Okay, something that I do for all of the different agents that I use is I create their own email address and password for that agent. So that's something that I'm going to be doing here, and is what I would recommend you all do as well. So you just go to Google, select use another account, and for this one, we're going to create an account. We'll just say for personal use, and you can just put whatever name that you want here. And the birth doesn't really matter. I usually just do 2000, and then this will be your account name, just something easy to remember. And then you can just create a password. Okay, and then we just have to verify some info. Okay, so to add voice to our agent, we're actually going to be using Groq, and that's Groq with the Q. So go to groq.com. We can just hit that button to get started, and then we'll sign up with our agent's email account. This is just a good way to keep things organized. And then from there, we can go to API keys pretty easily, create API key, and I'll just say Hermes Mac expiration. Can submit that. We're going to want to copy our key here, and I have the prompt here available in the description. Then we can paste that in here. Okay, now we should be able to test and make sure that it's working. Hey, can you hear me, Hermes? Okay, looks like it can transcribe my voice and everything. It's a little worried because I think when you
Yes, I got
shoot.
you.
Oh, my bad.
Voice transcription appears to be working through
Okay.
Hermes.
Okay. Jeez. But yeah, I thought it wasn't gonna work for a second because I'm recording the video. But yeah, you can see it's set up there, so that's pretty cool. All right, now that we actually gave Hermes its own email account, we're actually going to configure it so it's able to send emails and messages on your behalf. So if you go to messaging here in the top left, you can see we have email here. So we'll just type in all of this information. Okay, so when you're done, yours should look something like this. If you don't know the IMAP or SMTP, and if you did Google or Gmail, you should just be able to enter it like this. Same with the 587. Okay, so I tried to set up my email or Gmail connection here and it didn't work. And I believe it's because we have to have an app password for our email account. So I'm going to be walking through how to set that up now. So after you're in your Gmail or you've already created it, just go to create app password for Gmail. And then you're going to want to go to your Google account security page. I'll log into my agent here. Can go to two-step verification. So you should have some options here. I think phone number is pretty good, but I already have a lot of phone numbers on my different Gmail accounts. So I'm going to be using an authenticator app for myself. Okay, after you enable two-step verification, you're going to want to go to the Google app password page. We'll type in Hermes Mac for myself. And after we get that app password, we're able to go back to Hermes and enter it. Okay, now that we've saved changes, we need to restart the gateway again. So we'll do that. You can see that the gateway is restarting here in the bottom left. And okay, you're also going to want to make sure that you have a home address saved here. That's just your existing domain that you want to get notifications to. And then your email should be set up correctly. So next, we're going to upgrade Hermes and give it its second brain. We're going to do this through using a platform called Notion. This is great for managing files, having your own CRM, and just keeping up to date with all of your business information. So there's actually extensive documentation already on how to do this. So we're going to get one of those pages from Hermes itself, paste it into the chat, and then it's going to walk us through how to set up Hermes for our own machine. So I'll put this link in the comments as well. So just like that is going to actually ask us for our Notion API key. So I'm going to walk you through the Notion platform and how to set that up yourself. So we can just go to notion.com. I mean, they have a desktop app as well. And then I will log in with my new, oh great, just logged out. Well, I guess that's good because I already have an account with them. So I'll show you how to do it from your new Hermes Gmail account. Create our account, and then we're going to want to create an API key, of course. So we'll just keep it personal. Continue. We'll skip. They have a desktop app. It's pretty good. I actually would recommend it, but we can just do this for now. And then we're going to need an API key. So to do that, let's see if we can use this chat. Okay, so you're going to want to create a access token for your workspace. Again, I'll just name it Hermes Mac and create it here. We'll copy the token and we're able to send it back to Hermes. So I actually reran it a couple times and it was giving me some different responses. So if it doesn't give you that response that automatically prompts you for your Notion API key, you can actually just use the ones in the description and send those prompts. Now that we've connected Hermes successfully to Notion, we're actually going to create the CRM where it's going to live. So it'll be pretty easy. All you have to do is, okay, so we're going to go back to Notion and we'll create a new page. I think we can just hit this plus button. Yeah, just say Hermes page. And then same thing with the database. Oops. And we can create an empty database here. Just say Hermes database. So within these pages, we're going to make sure we go to the settings here, select the connections, and we're going to select the connection that we just had, which was the Hermes Mac. Same thing with our database. Just go here to the three dots, connections, add Hermes Mac, add to page, and we should be able to access it. All right, so it looks like it's created and it even gave us a link that we can view it. So we go, we can see that, yeah, there is able to create some information for a potential person here. And let me see. Yeah, so if you go to your CRM, it actually put it in there as well. So you can see that it's working. So now if you go to your Hermes agent and you tell it to update this, it'll be able to read people from here, update them based on your meeting notes, and just do all sorts of things. Tools are useless if the agent doesn't know you. This is where we go from generic to an AI employee that knows your business and works for you. So just some quick anatomy. If you actually go to the bottom left here, where this is your profile, you can go to manage profiles with those three dots, and you're able to see exactly the prompt that you give your agent as it does the tasks for you. So because we just left everything completely blank, right now it's just the default agent. This is where you would type anything if you wanted it to act a different way, cater to your business, to your needs. But for what we're going to do is actually have it interview us so it can adapt itself and just the different things that it'll know to do and prioritize based on our needs. So I'll just go back to the chat and we can begin with the interview. Now that Hermes has all of your context about who you are and your business, we're ready to give it some tools. Here, we're going to make the skills. So now we're just going to copy and paste this prompt, which is in the description, and it's going to turn everything, all of the context and all of the improvements that it just recommended into actual skills that it'll be using and utilizing for our business. So you can see here in the skills section, you already have some that are just by default, but you can actually make your own skills, which is what makes Hermes so unique and just really great to have. And we'll see what it comes up with. Okay, it made our, what is this called? Customer interview skill? What was that called? Oops. Yeah, business discovery interview skill. So if we go here, we should be able to search for it. Yep, and then it has this skill right here. And now we're going to take what we just learned, as in all of the recommendations, give this prompt, and then it's going to make us 10 new skills based on our needs for the business. So far, the agent reacts. Now we wanted to make it act on its own. We're going to do this through different cron jobs. So this is going to be doing something every day at a certain time continuously. So we're going to start with doing just update email every morning. And you can actually see here in the bottom left, you can open the different cron job tab and you can schedule one this way as well if you just want to set a prompt here, but we're just going to be doing it through the chat. Okay, great. So I was able to make the daily briefing as a cron job, and you can also see when you do have a cron job, it'll pop up here and you can kind of see it in an easier way. So now we're going to do something similar that we did to the last skill tree. So we're going to go and we're going to ask it, Hermes itself, based on the information, why don't you make some more that just, fit with our business? So for me, we'll see what that looks like. But for you, it'll be catered specifically to your business. All right, now that we're back, we can see that we've successfully created five different cron jobs here. And you can see they're catered exactly to our business. So just for some things that I was going over, we have a daily customer acquisition plan, email briefing, proposals, referrals, and just a weekly business dashboard review that will actually use our Notion account, which is super cool. That it's actually using those existing tools that we just created, and it's giving us the daily emails and reminders and tasks based off of those tools. One agent is an employee, but specialized agents are a team. And that's what we're going to be integrating now. You can see that we have different profiles here. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell Hermes, based on our business, based on the interviews, based on all of the skills you just created, how can we tie this together? How can we give ourselves a team of AI employees? So I'm going to paste that prompt in now. There we go. And then we can say build them now. So it's looking to give me just a growth operator. So this is pretty standard, just strategy and sales, engineering, media. And then this one is kind of specific for my business, just some of the software that we're working on, but it's actually going to give one just for that specifically because a lot of my interview questions were focused on that. So we'll check back in when it's done and we should be able to see a couple profiles down here. All right, and it was able to build some profiles down here. For some reason, I actually don't see it like in the little thing there. But if I do hit the button, then I can see we have some different profiles here. And again, just for some of the things that it was saying there, you actually have to come in here to customize it, but you can also rename them if you want to change them at all, delete them, and you can actually copy them if you maybe you want a second content generation one, or you want to create a new profile from scratch there. All right, now I do have four additional prompts after you have been using Hermes Agent for a while, or maybe you already set it up and you have been testing it, but now you just wanted to put some new skills in. And with these prompts, we're just able to clean up things a little bit. So we can do some different things about what to understand, about what to automate, a self critique, and then also keeping it lean. We don't want too much context building up within Hermes Agent. So just use these prompts whenever you have been using it for a while, and that way you can cut back on some of those costs. So before you go, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of some of the anatomy of the different files within Hermes Agent. Of course, we have the soul file. So whenever you're making a profile, that's exactly what the agent is, the context, and how it's going to operate. We also have the user file. You can't access that um, within this interface, but that would be something around here where it would just say exactly what your preferences are. So if you are using the CLI, you can edit it there. Same thing with memory. You can see what the agent does and does not remember. There's some different memory providers. Maybe I could cover that in a different video. Also, with all of the skills, we've set up quite a few here already. And those actual files you can go into and edit them yourself. There's some online you can also find. You can search them here. And then we have the cron jobs. That's going to be just the things set on a cadence to do tasks on your behalf without you having to ever come to the chat interface or open this up. We have profiles. That's going to be where your team lives and or your team of agents. So if you do want to open this like within any code, then you'll be able to look at your Claude. It'll be able to read your Claude file, your agent's MD file, or your Hermes Markdown. So I just ran a prompt that's going to actually read all of these files. You can see it's reading the memories, the sold file, the user file, and it's just showing everything that's in there. Or you can tell it to edit any of those things if you want. So here's the last thing, and the most important if you're going to be using this for your business. You're giving an AI keys to your email, your CRM, your code, to things that are important. You're going to want to rerun the security tool after you're using any of these things from the internet. And again, all you have to do is just ask Hermes, like, hey, run a security audit for me using Hermes security audit. And then from there, it'll just scan everything again and use its own built-in system to keep you secure. So let's recap. An agent that hears you, reads and answers your emails, runs your CRM, remembers your business, builds its own skills, briefs you every morning, and runs a team of specialized profiles, all open source, on your machine, owned by you. That's not AI, that's an AI native business. Every prompt is in the description in order. And if you build this, comment and tell me what your agent automated first.